In this tutorial, we're gonna do something a little more complicated with hue, saturation, and lightness. So this is another way to generate color. So let's start with our HSL color. We're gonna start with our function name. So function, and this function name is gonna be gen for generate, HSL colors. It actually does generate multiple colors. Or may generate multiple colors, so it's fine to name it this rather than just one color. It is going to return only one color. Okay, so let's start typing some code. Var saturation, that's the S in HSL, equals, and I'm just going to use my get random int. And saturation is from 0 for no color to 100, and that should be a comma, not a period. Lightness is the same. So I'll just, copy this line 57. I'll just type lightness. Get random int, 0 to 100. Okay, so after lightness, we're going to have a new variable, and we're going to call it amount. And its value is going to be get random int. One, 5. So basically I'm saying, hey, I want you to generate a random number from 1 to 5. And this way I can, I'm going to do some stuff with this number. For one thing, it's going to help me generate multiple versions of our HSL colors, which will allow me to get a random color out of my array. Kind of like we did up above. But, all right, so var amount, get random int. We're going to create a new variable, and we're going to call it color list. And it's going to be an empty array. This is where we're going to stuff our colors. Then var hue delta. And so this is going to help with a little more randomization. 360 and parseInt. ParseInt basically will take a numerical value if it has. If the number from our amount does not divide evenly, this will make it an integer. It'll just take whatever decimal places are afterwards and cut them off, because we need a single or value from 0 to 360 for each of these things, each of these times. All right. Hue delta parseInt 360 divided by amount. So our amount's going to do double duty. It's, for one thing, it's going to give us our hue delta. For another thing, it's going to tell us how many times we're going to work our for loop. So for var I equals 0, as long as I is less than our amount. So as long as I is less than amount, we're going to keep iterating through the loop. That's our I++. Curly braces. So what are we doing in this for loop? For one thing, we're going to generate our hue. So var hue equals I times hue delta. Then we're going to append item. So we can just click on this guy. And again, it's going to ask us for the list, so that's going to be color list. Oops. Color, that's going to be color list. And what is the value that we're going to append to it? And just like the RGB value, we need to do this as a string as a proper CSS value. So HSL parentheses. So that's our opening bit to let CSS know which color version that we're using. So HSL plus, and we're going to use hue plus, comma, plus saturation, following the process there, right? H for hue, S for saturation. Saturation is a percent value, so we're going to do plus percent and the comma that it needs to know kind of where one thing starts and another thing ends, plus lightness, plus, again, double quotes, percent, it needs that value, and then it needs the end parentheses for its own functionality and the double quote there. All right, so there we go. And we can do console.log colors. Just, again, this will just show us that the loop is working, how many times it turns, all of that good junk. Color list is actually correct. Color list. So we're going to do that. All right, that's it for this right now. We will use some more stuff because it's going to generate a list of colors that are HSL values. So let's try that. Reset, run, and I'm going to write in here at the bottom gen HSL colors. Put those parentheses there. Again, another typo. Typos are the bane of our existence. So that's all right. We just fix it. We read that that error message and we fix it. All right, reset, run. And so this one looks like it just generated one item, but it's there, right? Let's try this again, see if it will generate more for us. So here we can see that this generated 2 items. There's an item with 3, right? So, conceivably we could have, 4 or 5 elements, right? So this is a dynamic list, which means we're going to have to, if we want to get a random value out of it, we're going to have to check its length minus 1. That's going to be its top index, whatever it is. All right, so let's go back to our function. We need to pull out one element for our return. So I'm just going to go ahead and get a random number. So var rand num, and I'm going to set its value to get random int 0, because our indexes start with 0. And then I'm going to do colors list dot length minus 1. So it's going to, find the length of the colors list, whatever its top indice is, right? If it's one item, we know that its top index is 0, and that's a possibility, right? So now I'm going to say colors list square brackets and then rand num. So basically I'm just doing the same thing, right? I could conceivably just drop this item right here into the square brackets. That's exactly the same thing. But I'm doing it this way. I'm kind of breaking it out so you can see, hey, this random gets a random number based off of our colors list, however many items are in it, and then doing that. Just inserting the same value in here. So like if this is 4, right, then this will be 4. So here it's going to go out to the color list, insert the random number as an index. It's then going to store that element's value in the variable color, and then we can just return color. Now here I'm going to go ahead and hit reset. I'm going to go ahead and hit run. And I can just call my gen HSL colors. It should return a valid HSL color. See what it does. Oops. What did I call it? Oh, I called it color list. All right, again, typo. Bad, Trishy. All right, but hey, it worked, sort of. So let's go back to our console.log and get rid of this for right now because we don't need to clutter our console with stuff that we know works. So let's go ahead and hit reset. Let's hit run. Let's do this again. Color list. Well, Command F. Ah, there it is. Okay, let's try this. See if it works. All right, so now it returns a proper HSL color value. 74%, yep. 180, 74, 5. We'll see what these colors look like in the next video when we use the big button that says click here to apply the 3 colors. So this is the end of part 3. Be encouraged and don't give up. As you can see, I make mistakes from time to time. It's no big deal. As always, I hope you found this enjoyable. Happy coding, everyone! See you in the next video.